Hi, this is Amshul Puri on Spotify with Taaza Talks. Today, we are welcoming our esteemed guest, a transformation coach dedicated to building confidence and resilience. Through powerful mindset shifts and emotional strength, she helps individuals unlock their true potential and create a list of balance and well-being. Please welcome Dr. Antar Virk. हमारे बीच में आ चुकी है हमारे ताजा टॉक्स के प्लेटफॉर्म पे बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका.
Thank you, Anshul. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone.
So, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm great. And it's an honor to be here today.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
inviting me. And it's a privilege to be here. And let's hope I share some good insights with everybody.
Ji. So, tell us something about yourself.
So basically, I am by profession, I work for a corporate organization that's Parexel. It's a pharmaceutical company. And I'm a patient safety specialist there. But somehow I had that itch to work in the field of mental and well-being and personal development. So something just came into me, and I was so interested in this topic that I further took up some certifications, and here I am today, helping people with whatever I can.
Okay. So, what inspired you to begin your journey in the field of mindset and personal transformation?
Yeah. So, like many other people, my journey also started from a place of a lot of internal discomfort. There was no clarity, there was no direction. And though I was working for a very big corporate company, I was doing good. I was hyper independent, I was over functioning, but somehow, somewhere, uh, something was missing. And slowly, I started witnessing the same thing in all the people around me. I was seeing that people were functioning so well on the outside. They were achievers. They were showing up whenever wanted. They were fulfilling all roles. But somewhere internally, there's often confusion. There was self doubt. There was emotional overwhelm. And for a period of time in my life, I felt all these things. So it was a time where I was extremely stressed. In fact, even I was anxious all the time. And my sleep was like I couldn't sleep in the nights, and I wasn't at a very good phase in my life. So at that point of time, I just, kind of wanted to get distracted by every possible thing around me. So I was looking for distractions. And somehow COVID hit at that point of time, and all the distractions just stopped. There was nothing. There was nobody around. It was just pure silence. And
Mhm.
that forced me to actually sit with myself in silence. And when I actually sat with myself in silence, something inside of me, it just shifted. I started connecting with myself better. I started working on myself better, started getting better. And there I thought that if we believe and we want to, we can make deep changes in our life. So our well-being is not only influenced by external forces, but deeply influenced by internal state. So that made me realize that real change doesn't come from adding more information. It comes from understanding and realigning with yourself. So that's what led me to create the inner elixir to help people move from surface level coping to deeper self awareness and transformation.
Ma'am, confidence and resilience are widely used terms. How do you personally define them?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Most of the people, they don't have an idea of what confidence means. Like confidence, they think is something that people already have. But exactly confidence for me, it is self trust in action. So it's not the absence of fear or absence of doubt, it's the ability to move forward despite all those fears, despite all the doubts. So knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way.
Mhm.
And resilience, on the other hand, it is the ability to return to yourself after any kind of disruption. So, as we all know, life will challenge you, emotions will fluctuate, but resilience is your capacity to ground yourself without losing who you are in the process.
Uh, Many people appear strong externally, but struggle, internally. What do you think is the root cause of this?
Yeah, I have actually really gone into the depth of this question in my life that what is the root cause? From where does this misalignment begin? And I came to know that this misalignment comes from very early on in our life through our conditioning, the way we are conditioned as children, and whatever things we learn as we grow up at an early age. So we've been conditioned to equate strength with composure, with productivity, with control. So from a very young age, we are taught how to perform, how to meet other people's expectations, but rarely how to process our own emotions, set boundaries, or even understand our inner world. So people become very good at holding everything together externally, but internally, they feel disconnected, overwhelmed, or unseen. So the changes that you see in adults, it is actually the seeds of those changes have already been sown when they were kids. So our early on conditioning is one major thing that leads to this. But it's a very good thing that we can work on that. If we get aware about that, we can actually change our lives for the better.
And why do people find it difficult to implement shifts in real life, even when they understand the theory?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Because I think understanding something intellectually is very different from actually living it. So we read books, we listen to podcasts, we listen to other places, we even agree with the concept. But if our subconscious patterns, our emotional conditioning, and our nervous system responses, they are not aligned, we'll fall back into familiar behaviors. For some time, when we read a book, you might have observed, or we hear somebody, for that point of time, we are very motivated and we want to make the changes and we feel that we understand the concept. But with time, since we fall back into our subconscious behaviors, so that's the point where people start losing that. So the trick is to inculcate all these things that you learn into your daily behaviors. So taking a very more, say, small actions every day, so that something it gets imbibed into your subconscious. For me, I say it as a 1% alignment rule. Like just align yourself 1% with something new every day, not more than that. So it gets compounded in the whole year.
Uh, what has been the most challenging phase in your life, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, actually, just described that challenging phase early on. Also, it was the sheer navigation through misalignment when what I truly felt, what I was truly feeling inside, it was not at all matching what I was actually showing up in life for. Like I was showing up for work, I was overworking, like working 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours a day, and I was overfunctioning. However, I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. So there was a constant tension between expectation and authenticity. So, what helped me move through it was a sudden breakthrough, a gradual honesty. So, as I said, I just sat with myself. I started asking questions to myself, like, why am I feeling like this? What is it that I need? Where am I going to find it? Just sitting with yourself, just asking a few basic questions, it opens up doors to real transformation.
So, ma'am, what is the difference between coaching and self help? Do you believe everyone needs a coach?
I guess self-help is more like it gives you tools, it gives you ideas, it gives you frameworks. I think it's a great starting point. I myself started from there, reading self-help books. But coaching takes it a step further. So coaching is more personalized, it is more reflective, it is more interactive. You have somebody to sit with, to talk to. So a coach helps you see your blind spots, the challenges your patterns, supports you in applying what you already know in a way that works for your life. So I don't believe everyone needs a coach, but I do believe everyone benefits from deeper reflection. So coaching is one of the most effective ways to accelerate the process.
Absolutely. एक personal question है मेरा आपसे. Everyone cannot afford the coaches, right? तो जो जहाँ पर stuck है ड्यू टू सम फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस या कोई भी और रीजन की वजह से कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत कम है, वो कोच को अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, उस हालात में उस इंसान को क्या करना चाहिए?
Yeah, actually वो self help books से definitely start कर सकते हैं. They can start reading from self help books, but you can also reach out to coaches. I definitely provide free sessions. I provide pro bono sessions to such people who cannot afford but really need help, and people have approached me and I have helped them. So, go and ask for help. Everybody there is out to help you. So you have to take your stance. You can start from reading self-help books, but yes, if you need a coach, you can definitely contact and we can do whatever we can do to help you. So our basic aim is just to help individuals, break free from wherever they are stuck in life. So people do help. Even I know my fellow coaches, many of us, we help people, whoever are in need.
Sure. So from a woman empowerment perspective, what is the most important area women should focus on today?
I think women should focus on two main areas. One is boundaries, one is self-worth. I have recently even written a book on the topic of boundaries, and it is one of the topics which is very close to my heart because I myself had real issues, creating boundaries around me. And I saw how my energy depleted and how, how I was just struggling to meet even small expectations in my relationships and otherwise. So most women, we as women, we are conditioned to prioritize others. We behave like we are the nurturers. We are the ones, people pleasers. Since childhood only, we've been told, you have to be like this, you have to do this, you can't say this. So we have to be accommodating, we have to seek validation externally. So over time, this creates emotional exhaustion and somehow they disconnect from one's own need. So when a woman learns to honor her voice, set boundaries without guilt, and value herself internally, everything shifts. So her decisions become clearer, her relationships become healthier, and her confidence becomes more grounded. So we have a misconception that we cannot put boundaries, boundaries are negative. I think boundaries is a very important thing that women need to put because that is how they can conserve their energy for things that they want to do, for things that they look forward to do. And I think most women have to learn this. Secondly, is self-worth. Definitely, we have to realize that we are worthy of everything. We are not worthy
Hmm.
of just being, prioritizing everybody else and over our needs. We as women, we are conditioned like that. So, women empowerment perspective, I think boundaries and self-worth. These are two very important topics that I think every woman should look into.
Absolutely. So, what daily habits can help build emotional strength and resilience?
Yeah, so I have a very different take on this. I think habits or something, habits is not the word that I really like to use. I have replaced that word with ritual. So we need to set some daily rituals for ourselves. Only then we can, move on to this journey of building emotional strength and resilience. Very small, consistent rituals every day. For example, just taking a few minutes daily to sit in silence and observing your thoughts. I will not use the word meditation because people generally, they think, I don't know how we
Yes.
meditate and this and that. Meditation is a term that is like a taboo. I cannot meditate. You don't have to meditate or you don't have to take the pressure of that. You just have to take a few minutes, just have to sit in stillness, just have to observe the thoughts that are coming into your mind. Slowly, slowly, with time, when you do this practice for a few days, if you see that your mind starts, silencing, it starts, you know, calming down. And once your thoughts calm, and when your mind gets still, is when you can actually hear your inner voice, the voice that wants to talk to you at every point of time, that, that gut feeling, that hitch that we get from inside that something is not right. That is your inner voice. And most of us, we get disconnected from it because we cannot sit with ourselves. For me, as an example, when I started meditating and sitting in stillness, it was very difficult. It was so uncomfortable. But slowly, I got used to it and it really helps you. It calms your mind, it increases your productivity, so many things, so many benefits. Then, secondly, I would advise people to journal. Whoever likes writing their thoughts, whoever likes uh, penning down their emotions, they should journal at least once in a day and journal from a place of honesty, not like something that looks good on paper.
Hmm.
Whatever comes in your mind, whatever thoughts you're thinking, whatever is there in your mind, just write it on a piece of paper, be it whatever. But don't think that somebody's going to read it or something. You're the only person who's going to read it. So journal from a place of honesty. Then, thirdly, I would say regulating the body through movement. Like you can exercise, do yoga, some form of exercise that can help you relieve the tension in your muscles, in your body. The stress somehow it manifests in our body. So it is very important to release it on a daily basis. And any kind of activity, say running, say walking, or gymming, yoga, all these help in releasing that stress from the body. So through movement, through breath, through proper rest, rest again, very important thing, as important as eating your food. You really need to sleep. Your night should be calm, your night should be composed. You should get a minimum number of hours to sleep. So this is where you're building emotional strength. Then making small promises to yourself every day, a very small single promise to yourself, and keeping those promises with yourself, committing something to yourself and keeping it, not kind of abandoning yourself. And then mostly the biggest issue that I have seen in people is trigger and reaction.
Hmm.
So we need to create pauses between getting triggered and reacting on that trigger. It is very difficult in the beginning because we don't realize somebody triggers us, we get angry, and our reaction comes out, which later on we think it shouldn't have been there. So if we are able to create a very small pause between our trigger and the reaction, I think that is a great thing for your emotional strength and resilience. So whenever something triggers you or you get angry because of something or someone, just take 10 seconds and maybe count 1 to 10 and take deep breaths and pause. You will see your reaction and your outlook towards the thing changes. It is not the same as it was before. So that helps you build your emotional strength, not anybody else. So the pause is for your own well-being. So these are a few habits which are very simple. They seem very simple, and over time, they will create a very strong inner foundation.
Perfect. So, how does social media comparison affect confidence? Because how can one manage it effectively?
Yeah. So social media often it just presents a curated version of reality. I think it is not actually the reality version of people's lives. It's just a version of them that they show on Instagram and whatever we are watching. So somehow, subconsciously, we start comparing our lives to other people's lives. And when we constantly consume these highlights, we subconsciously compare them to our everyday lives. And that creates a sense of inadequacy. We feel inadequate. And over time, when we get this feeling every time, because I think we are on our phones, most of the people are on their phones 3 to 4 hours a day. They keep scrolling, they keep looking at social media. So over time, this can create a kind of a disconnect from your own pace. Every individual is different. Everybody has a different pace of doing things. Somebody can be successful in maybe an age of 30, someone gets successful in the age of 40. But when we start comparing ourselves to other people,
Mhm.
we get into the loop of, inadequacy. And whatever we want to do, even that we cannot do properly. So I would recommend kindly manage your time with social media. Definitely, if you cannot, you can put some kind of barriers so that you're not on social media all the time. Secondly, you can be more mindful in choosing the content that you're looking at. Follow content that doesn't trigger you, follow content that is more calming, follow content that is more soothing, and regularly reconnect with your goals and values. There's so much content on social media which is so good, and when you read it, you're more inspired. Your headspace becomes more clear. So I think choosing wisely what we should be looking for on social media and what is actually being presented, that's the trick. So confidence grows when your focus shifts from comparison to alignment.
Correct. So, if someone feels stuck in life, what is the first step you would advise them to take?
I think the first step would be getting aware. Awareness is the first step to just pause, create awareness. Sometimes life makes you, puts you in a situation where you have to pause. I would say that start pausing a little every day. Just slow down to speed up. So instead of immediately trying to fix or escape situations, just sit with yourselves and ask yourself the right questions, like what are you actually feeling? What are you doing that is giving you that fulfillment in life? What are you avoiding? Why are you avoiding it? So all these things will give you a clarity of where you are, why are you stuck in that situation, and awareness is the key. Once you are aware that you are stuck, there are many ways in which you can be helped. Going through self-help books, finding the right coach, getting the right help. I think people can just come out of that stuckness. And I've seen transformations in my life, so I can vouch for that.
So, ma'am, let's do one rapid fire round.
Yeah,
Confidence or talent?
definitely confidence because talent needs a belief to be expressed fully.
Overthinking or action?
Action definitely because clarity comes through doing, not just thinking.
Comfort zone or growth zone?
Growth zone, but with self awareness and self compassion.
Failure or regret? What's more dangerous?
Definitely regret because it carries the weight of what if. Failure, you can restart again.
Morning routine or night routine?
I think both routines for me are equally important. You need to have a very good night routine to have a good morning and a very good morning routine to wind down. But I am a morning person. I love my mornings. So, morning routine, it shapes mental and emotional tone for the day.
One word that defines you.
Definitely, I go by alignment. So, if you're in alignment, everything is perfect in life.
Books or podcast?
Books are my favorite because they offer me depth, they offer me reflection.
Discipline or motivation?
Discipline, because discipline can take you places where even motivation can't, because motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent.
Correct. One habit that can change life.
I think consistently being self aware, as I said, looking yourself, observing yourself all the time in every situation, looking at every trigger. So, being self aware is a very important habit that can change lives.
One piece of advice for everyone from your side.
Yes, please start trusting yourself sooner. Stop abandoning yourself to meet other people's expectations. There is nothing greater than trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, because you're the only person who is there for you all the time. So, self trust. Build self trust, build actions that will lead to self trust.
So, ma'am, how can people approach you directly for your services, for your connection? Like, कहाँ कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म पे आपसे कनेक्ट किया जा सकता है?
I'm available on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn by the name of The Inner Elixir. You can find me. My handle says the term The Inner Elixir. And you can also log into theinnerelixir.com and you can book your free sessions. The first consultation session is absolutely free of cost, where we can see where you are and whatever you want, we can discuss. And you can contact me through there.
Perfectly all right. So it was really incredible conversation with you. Thank you very much. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Anshul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot. Nice
Thank
talking to you.